everyone, thanks for joining me, your sport pilot James Glued, on another exciting episode of Sport Vibe on DNTWOK, where we bring you exciting and latest sport happenings across the world of sport every Tuesday, as is our tradition to do so. This week won't be an exception, so I would implore you to please stay tuned because we'll be right back shortly after this break. Welcome back. Quite an interesting week we had in the world of sport at large, from the UEFA Champions League draw to the Europa Champions League draw, and also we witnessed some interesting matches during the weekend. And straight from the world of Formula 1 at the Italian Grand Prix, where we saw HAG winning it for the Ferrari on home soil at Italy to win the Italian Grand Prix. who finished third, was able to bounce back this week to make it the first point of the podium, winning it for the Ferrari on home soil. Is an interesting one for him, as he was seconded by the McLaren driver, where you talk about Oscar Piastri finishing second at the Italian Grand Prix, and on the third position we saw Lando Norris finishing on the third position, and this means that the two McLaren drivers were able to finish second and third respectively at the Italian Grand Prix. Definitely this has consequences for the Red Bull driver, where we talk about Max Verstappen, who was able to finish at the Italian Grand Prix on sixth position, and this means that on the constructor standing, the Red Bull are just 8 points clear of McLaren when it comes to the constructor standing. In the world of Formula 1, will they be able to hold off McLaren this season at the constructor standing? And also, if you would like to know that Max Verstappen leading and Dolores at the driver standing has been reduced to 62 points between these two as the driver standing in the world of Formula 1. With 8 races left in the world of Formula 1 this season, we will be seeing the Red Bull retaining their spot as the constructor championship, and we will be seeing the last year driver of the year, where you talk about Max Verstappen retaining his record in the world of Formula 1. 8 more games left in the Formula 1 this season, as we'll be seeing the next race being run at September 15. It will be an interesting one to uphold when it comes to the world of Formula 1. But quickly, let's switch our attention to the game of football, where we start talking about the UEFA Champions League draw. It was an interesting one to see CR7 hosting and involved in the selection of teams that will be participating in the UEFA Champions League. You know that Cristiano Ronaldo, former side Real Madrid, are the dominating side where you talk about the UEFA Champions League, but the UEFA Champions League have decided to switch pattern in this year's season of the UEFA Champions League, where teams will be facing 8 teams, and they have been segmented into 4 pots, and it's going to be like a league match being played between them, where you have to travel down to various club homes to play their match in the Champions League. It's going to be an interesting one to watch out for, as Real Madrid will be hoping to show their dominance in the new pattern. You will remember his former side Manchester United are not participating in the UEFA Champions League this season, but they will be playing in the Europa League, where they will be playing Fenerbahce in one of their Europa League matches. It's going to be an interesting one to watch in this season of the Champions League, where so many matches will be played across Europe in the Champions League. Is going to be an interesting one to behold in the world of football. Also in the UEFA Champions League, Chelsea during the week were able to qualify for the Conference League. Chelsea, a team that has so many sources attached to it, will be playing only in the Conference League this season. And let's switch our attention back to the Premier League, where we start from the transfer window. It has been an interesting transfer window for the English side, as we saw Raheem Stanley move from Chelsea to Arsenal on the transfer deadline is going to be an interesting one to watch. Raheem Stanley play for Arsenal Football Club after being able to play for Liverpool. He had played for Manchester City, he had played for Chelsea, and now he's playing for Arsenal. What difference will he be making for the Mikel Arteta side? And on the transfer window also, we can't fail to talk about the saga of Victor Osimhen that has failed to get his deal straight with Chelsea Football Club. Remember, he had an interest from Saudi Arabia, but all this contract was terminated and could pull through on the final day of the transfer window. With Osimhen still be playing for Napoli, that looks to be having things hard for him this season in the Italian Serie A. Napoli and Victor Osimhen saga will be a long one to see till the month of January, where the transfer window will be open again. And also in the world of football, Manchester United were able to announce the signing of their midfielder that they have been hoping for, where you talk about Emmanuel Ugarte. But an interesting one is that on the transfer deadline again, we saw Jadon Sancho move down to Chelsea Football Club from Manchester United on a loan with an obligation to buy by Chelsea. And this will also be a great one for Jadon Sancho as he has switched to Chelsea Football Club. Let's see if he'll be able to perform wonders under Enzo Maresca. And talking about Chelsea Football Club, who were held 1-1 apiece against Crystal Palace during the weekend. You remember it was a London derby between Chelsea and Crystal Palace, and for the first time in a long while, Crystal Palace were able to leave Chelsea, where you talk about the Stamford Bridge, without a defeat in the world of football, particularly in the Premier League. And let's switch our attention again to one of the men that has been making difference in the Premier League this season. We talk about Brighton and Hove Albion coach, where we talk about Fabian Hosler, who was able to get a draw against Arsenal, who are looking to mount pressure on Man City. They were able to get a draw against Arsenal after Declan Rice picked up his first red in his professional career. It's going to be an interesting Premier League to watch this season, as Arsenal are trailing 2 points behind Manchester City that they are hoping to catch up on. And also talking about the Premier League side, we talk about the reigning champion and presently the team that is sitting on the top of the Premier League table, Manchester City, as they were able to get the whole 3 points last week after an emphatic display by their talisman again, where you talk about Erling Haaland, who has been able to score 7 goals already in just 3 matches in the Premier League. It's a back-to-back hat-trick for Erling Haaland in the Premier League, and they are already starting the Premier League, showing their dominance in the world of football. Quickly, let's go on a very short break, and when we're right back, we continue right from where we stop. Welcome back, and still talking football. You remember I said Manchester City were able to get the win that they deserve during the weekend, as they were able to get a crucial win against West Ham, and remains one of the 2 teams to have won their 3 matches in the available 3 in the Premier League. And another team that was able to do that is Liverpool, and Liverpool has been doing that in a stylish manner, where you see them winning 3 games out of 3, and they are yet to concede any goal in the Premier League this season. And Slot regime in the Liverpool has continued to be an incredible one, as they were able to defeat Manchester United on home ground, where they were able to see them 3-0 at Old Trafford. Liverpool were able to inflict damage on the Erik ten Hag side that we were all hoping that there will be a difference between Erik ten Hag side last season and his new side this season. You remember that they have been able to get Erik ten Hag so many players in the transfer window they were able to sign him a midfielder, Imam Ogate, who couldn't perform in the encounter between Liverpool and Manchester United. But on the pitch against Liverpool, we saw De Ligt making his first start in the Premier League. We saw Joshua Zirkzee making his first start in the Premier League also, but it wasn't an outing that the Manchester United side would be hoping for, as they were defeated 3-0 by Liverpool. And this brings me to ask the question that how much longer do Erik Ten Hag have with Manchester United? Remember that his career was a bit saved by the FA Cup that he won last year. Will he be able to continue with the Manchester United side till next season with the kind of results that he's getting in the Premier League? As things stands, they are below the 10th position, particularly they are the 14th position in the Premier League, and they are on 3 goals difference, suffering -3 in the Premier League. And another interesting one, switching our attentions from the Premier League to the Bundesliga, where we talk about Bayern Munich, who were able to get a win during the weekend, continuing Vincent Kompany dominance in the Bundesliga. And that particular match, we saw Thomas Müller coming on the pitch to make his 710 appearance for Bayern Munich, becoming the club highest player to appear the most for the club. Is going to be an interesting one to see how Vincent Kompany will be able to manage Thomas Müller, who is well older than him in the world of football and as a manager for Bayern Munich. And also, you will remember that during the weekend, Bayern Leverkusen experienced their first defeat in over a year after they were defeated by RB Leipzig 3-2 during the weekend. And this means that their unbeaten streak at the Bundesliga and in domestic football has been over. Also, let's switch our attention to the Spanish La Liga, an interesting one for the fans of Kylian Mbappe, who has always been asking the question that when will he be able to score in the La Liga. But he was able to find the back of the net not just once but twice against Las Palmas for the Spanish La Liga side Real Madrid. He was able to convert a goal from an assist that was provided to him by Valverde, and when Vinicius Jr. decided to hand over the penalty to Mbappe, he was able to convert from the spot. It's an interesting weekend already ahead in the world of football, as the international break will be starting. We'll be seeing so many players representing their national side in the world of football. We'll be seeing Nigeria also playing to participate in the upcoming African Cup of Nations and in the World Cup that will be taking place in the year 2026. Let's keep our fingers crossed and our face on the screen as we'll be enjoying so many international football this week till the next week, where we'll be seeing Premier League and other clubs back in the world of Europe. I would indulge you to please be a law-abiding citizen, and remember to follow us across our various social media handles, as this is the length at which we'll be going on this week episode of Sport Vibe on DNTWOK. Enjoy your week, remain blessed. Thank you.